Welcome to a journey through the mind of Ray Bradbury, the author of Fahrenheit 451. Born in the small town of Waukegan, Illinois, Bradbury grew up during the Great Depression, a time of economic hardship that sparked his imagination and fueled his passion for literature. His experiences during this era greatly influenced his work, and Fahrenheit 451 is no exception. In this dystopian masterpiece, Bradbury explores a society that has outlawed books and where firemen are employed not to extinguish fires, but to set ablaze any books they discover. The motivation behind Bradbury's creation of such a society was his growing concern over the rise of censorship and the increasing disregard for literature and intellectual freedom in his time. Fahrenheit 451 presents us with a chilling vision of a world where knowledge is feared and ignorance is bliss. The book serves as a stark reminder of the power of free thought, the importance of literature, and the dangers of censorship. Join us as we delve into a world where knowledge is feared and ignorance is bliss. The first section of Fahrenheit 451, The Hearth and the Salamander, introduces us to Guy Montag, our protagonist. Montag lives in a world where his role as a fireman is not as it seems. In this dystopian society, it's not about quenching flames, but about igniting them. His job? To burn books, the bearers of knowledge and free thought, considered dangerous in this highly controlled society. Montag is initially content, even taking pride in his work. The flicker of the flames, the crackle of the burning pages, it's all part of a day's work for him, a duty he performs without question. He is a cog in the machine, an agent of a system that suppresses dissent and encourages conformity. However, everything begins to change when he meets Clarisse McClellan, a free-spirited teenager who is not afraid to question the status quo. Clarisse is like a breath of fresh air in the smog of conformity. She's curious, inquisitive, and full of life, qualities that are rare in this dystopian world. She introduces Montag to a different perspective on life, one that values individuality and critical thinking. Their conversations stir something within Montag. Clarisse's questions about happiness and freedom force Montag to reevaluate his own life and the society he is part of. He begins to question his role as a fireman, the joy he once took in his work now replaced with a growing sense of unease. This is the beginning of Montag's transformation, his journey from a conformist to a rebel. It's a journey that is marked by self-discovery, resistance, and ultimately, a quest for freedom. His meeting with Clarisse is the spark that sets his world ablaze, a world that is about to change in ways he never thought possible. As Montag's worldview begins to shift, so does the path of our story. In the second section, The Sieve in the Sand, Montag's transformation continues. Montag, our protagonist, is growing more and more restless in the stifling society that surrounds him. This society, a dystopian world where books are burned instead of read, is becoming unbearable for Montag, who has developed a secret passion for the forbidden fruit. Books. His rebellion against society's norms is subtle but significant. He steals a book from a house that's destined for the flames, a bold act of defiance against his role as a fireman, a role that, ironically, requires him to kindle fires, not put them out. His attempt to read and understand this stolen book is a symbol of his deepening dissent against a world that has outlawed literature and intellectual curiosity. But Montag's transformation is not an easy journey. It's a struggle akin to trying to fill a sieve with sand, a futile exercise that leaves one feeling empty and frustrated. And this frustration is amplified by the indifference of his wife, Mildred. She's a product of this society, a woman so absorbed in her superficial, screen-dominated world that she's oblivious to Montag's internal turmoil. Mildred's indifference to Montag's transformation is a stark reminder of the society they live in, a society that values conformity over individuality, ignorance over knowledge. It's a society that's not just indifferent to books, but hostile to them, a society that burns books to maintain its status quo. Montag's struggle, then, is not just against his own ignorance, but against a society that thrives on it. His newfound love for books is a direct challenge to his duty as a fireman, a duty that requires him to eradicate the very thing he's come to cherish, It's a struggle that sets the stage for a dramatic climax, a climax that will test Montag's resolve and the strength of his rebellion. Montag's struggle between his newfound love for books and his duty as a fireman sets the stage for a dramatic climax. The final section, Burning Bright, is where the tension in Fahrenheit 451 reaches its peak. Here, we find Montag, our protagonist, in the throes of ultimate rebellion against the society he once served. The society that once felt like home now feels like a prison, a place of intellectual stagnation and suppression. Montag, once a fireman burning books with zeal, now finds himself on the other side of the spectrum, a defender of knowledge, a preserver of wisdom. His rebellion is not quiet, not subtle. It's a burning bright defiance against a world that has forgotten the value of literature, of critical thinking, of human connection. Montag's rebellion is not just a fight for himself, it's a fight for the soul of society, a fight for the future. But rebellion comes at a cost. Montag becomes a fugitive, marked for elimination by the very institution he once served. In his escape from the city, Montag risks everything. He becomes a symbol of resistance, a beacon of hope, and a target of oppression. Yet even as he flees, there's a sense of discovery, of hope. Montag stumbles upon a group of intellectual exiles, individuals who, like him, have rejected the ignorance of their society. These exiles have committed entire books to memory, preserving knowledge for a time when society might once again be ready to embrace it. They are the living libraries, the last vestiges of a world that once appreciated the written word. In these exiles, Montag finds camaraderie, understanding, and a purpose. He joins them, adding his own book to their collective memory, becoming part of their mission to keep knowledge alive. In a society where books are the enemy, Montag becomes a beacon of hope. Fahrenheit 451, a dystopian novel by Ray Bradbury, is more than just a tale of a dystopian future. It is a profound commentary on the consequences of censorship and the suppression of knowledge. The strengths of this book lie not only in its riveting narrative, but also in its thought-provoking themes. The portrayal of a society where books are burned and intellectual curiosity is stifled serves as a powerful critique of state-controlled censorship. Bradbury masterfully illustrates the dire consequences of suppressing knowledge and limiting freedom of thought. The book's chilling depiction of a world devoid of literature and critical thinking is a potent reminder of the importance of intellectual freedom. Bradbury's writing style, though at times complex, is rich and captivating. His vivid descriptions and poetic prose bring to life a world that is both terrifying and fascinating. His characters, from the conflicted protagonist Guy Montag to the wise and insightful Faber, are well developed and compelling. Nevertheless, the book is not without its weaknesses. Its bleak portrayal of humanity's future can be unsettling and may not appeal to everyone. The narrative, while engaging, can also be dense and challenging to follow at times. And although Bradbury's critique of censorship is powerful, some readers may find his dystopian vision overly pessimistic and devoid of hope. Despite these potential shortcomings, Fahrenheit 451 is an essential read. It challenges us to question the status quo, to value our intellectual freedoms, and to resist the suppression of knowledge. It invites us to consider the ramifications of blind obedience and the importance of critical thinking. In conclusion, Fahrenheit 451 offers a compelling exploration of a dystopian future where knowledge is feared and freedom of thought is suppressed. It encourages us to appreciate the power of books and the importance of intellectual curiosity. Fahrenheit 451 serves as a stark reminder of the power of knowledge and the dangers of ignorance. It's a must-read for anyone who values the freedom to think,